Hi guys, this is Mrs. Cornett, and I'm going to show you a few problems from section 4.1. We're going to be plotting some points and checking for solutions. Chapter 4 is all about the coordinate system and graphing points, connecting those points to form lines, and writing equations. And so this video is really just about the basics of plotting points on a coordinate system. The first thing I want you to know about the coordinate grid here on the right is that it's split into 4 quadrants. You need to memorize those quadrants and be able to recognize them on an exam. The top right is quadrant 1, so I'm going to put Q1. Then you're going to go counterclockwise, and that is your quadrant 2, and then down to the bottom left is quadrant 3, and then the last one is quadrant 4. So you may have questions on WebAssign or on a math test that gives you an ordered pair and asks you to identify which quadrant that ordered pair is in. So be prepared to know these quadrants. The next thing I want you to be able to do, and I want you to be able to do it really well and really quickly, is to plot points on this coordinate grid. Take a look at number 1. There's 3 ordered pairs. Ordered pairs always come in a group of 2 inside of a parenthesis with a comma separating them. The first number is your x coordinate. The second number is your y coordinate, so it goes in alphabetical order, x and then y. And just like a game of Battleship, you're going to find your x coordinate and trace down the y axis until it intersects with the y coordinate. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You're always going to start right here at the origin. This is where the x axis, which is horizontal, intersects the y-axis, which is vertical. And if I'm plotting the first ordered pair, 3, 2, start from the origin and count 3 spaces to the right, and then you're going to go 1, 2, up 2 spaces, and that will be your ordered pair 3, 2. Next, when you go to plot a second ordered pair, you start back at the origin. Your x coordinate for this one is -4, so you'll start at the origin. This time you'll go left 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you'll still go up to 2. The last ordered pair is 2, -4. You'll start back at the origin. You'll count 2 spaces to the right, but this time you'll go down the y-axis to -4, and that's the ordered pair 2, -4. And I may have failed to mention this, but the 2 main axes are number lines. One is a horizontal number line, that's the x-axis. One is a vertical, and that's the y-axis. So you can see these -10s here, and then you have +10s facing up and going to the right. Okay, let's try another one. Take a look at number 5. It's -3, 4. We'll start again at the origin. This time we'll count left 3 spaces to a -3, and then up 4 spaces, 1, 2, and that is the ordered pair -3, 4. Next you have the ordered pair 0, -1. You're going to always start back at the origin, but because your x value for the x coordinate is 0, that means you're not going to move right or left. You're just going to move 1 space down, and the ordered pair will sit right on the y-axis. So that's 0, -1. The next one is 2, -2. Again, start back at the origin. The x-coordinate is a +2, so we'll count 2 spaces to the right, and then 2 spaces down into the -2, and that's the ordered pair 2, -2. And the last one for number 5 is 5, 0. Start back at the origin, count 5 spaces to the right and 0 spaces up or down, so it's going to sit right on the x-axis, and that's the ordered pair 5, 0. For a question like number 7 that has fractions, I want you just to do your best on WebAssign as you're plotting these points. Sometimes right underneath the grid on WebAssign, it gives you the opportunity to just type in where you want the ordered pair to be plotted on the grid instead of you using your cursor of your mouse to try to plot it. If you have questions about that, just let me know. But let me just do 1 or 2 of these with a fraction. So the first one is 3 halves, -1. always start back here at the origin. 3/2, it's easier if you change these fractions into a decimal. So 3/2 equals 1.5. So we'll move 1.5 to the right on the x-axis and then down 1. And so it's going to sit right there, in between where we have the grid because it just was halfway. But that is the ordered pair 3/2 -1. And let me just graph one more. Let's take a look at the 1/2 -1/2. Decimal version would be 0.5, -0.5. And so we would go 0.5 to the right and 0.5 down. It's going to sit right in the middle of that box. And that's your ordered pair 1/2 -1/2. Okay, next I want to show you examples like this. Instructions say determine whether an ordered pair is a solution of the equation. All that means is you're offered 4 different ordered pairs and you're given an equation. And this just means to check which one of these ordered pairs, and it can be more than one, when you plug in both the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate, the equation remains true. For 23, let's just check A and B so the video doesn't get too long. So remember the order, x comes first and then y for both of these ordered pairs. And so when we're using the equation y equals 2x plus 4, we're going to substitute both of these values at the same time. So this will be 10 for y equals 2 times 3, because 3 is x, plus 4. We don't have to do anything to the left side because it's already simplified to the number 10. On the right side, if we multiply 2 times 3, that's 6. And we know 6 plus 4 is 10. Because 10 equals 10 is a true statement, we would just write yes next to option A. Now to check the ordered pair B, we're going to use the same equation except a different ordered pair. This time the y value is 3, so this will be 3 equals 2 times -1 plus 4. 2 times -1 is -2, and when I add -2 plus 4, that's a positive 2. Does the positive 2 equal the positive 3? No, it does not. And so the ordered pair for part B, you would just put no, it is not a solution. Let me show you one or two from number 25. You have the equation 2y minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. And let's check A and C. For A, the ordered pair is 1, 1. So this would look like 2 times 1 minus 3 times 1 plus 1. Does all of that equal 0? So for this part, we're going to need to do the orders of operation, which is multiply first. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. So that's 2 minus 3 plus 1. Anytime you have add and subtract in the same problem, you just need to work it left to right. So 2 minus 3 is a -1. -1 plus 1 is 0. So this is a true statement. So yes, option A is a solution. Okay, option C is the ordered pair -3, -1. Remember, this goes in alphabetical order. It's really easy to forget that. You want to just plug in the first number you see with the first variable you see, but just really be mindful that it's always in the order X, Y. It's always in alphabetical order. So this will be 2 times -1 minus 3 times -3 plus 1 equals 0. Again, we'll do orders of operation. 2 times -1 is -2. 3, we can do -3 times -3 to get a positive 9 plus 1 equals 0. We'll still combine this left to right. -2 plus 9 is 7, and 7 plus 1 is 8. And does 8 equal 0? No way. And so letter C is not a solution to this equation. Okay, let me do just 2 more. A lot of times it seems more difficult if there's a fraction, but I want to show you that it's really not that much harder. Let's go ahead and let's do B and D, because just looking at those appear to be the hardest. So for the ordered pair B, that's -9, -6, would be -6 equals 2/3 times -9. Anytime you've got to multiply by a fraction in a whole number, to take that whole number and put a 1 in the denominator, because once you have two fractions, you can multiply the two numerators together, which will be -18, and the two denominators together, which is 3, and then simplify that fraction. In this example, -18/3 simplifies to -6. And that's what we had on the other side, so -6 does equal -6, and so B is a solution. The ordered pair for D is -1 2/3, so this will look like 2/3, which is your Y value, equals 2/3 times -1. You could probably see what's going to happen in your head, but let me go ahead and work it all the way out. 2/3 times -1/1. Again, when you multiply the numerators together, that's -2. 3 times 1 is 3. So is the statement positive 2/3 equal to -2/3? Nope, that is not equal. It's the same fraction but opposite signs, so it's not going to cut it. And so D is not a solution. You can just put no. Okay, that's going to be all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions.